Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a layout for Kitaholic Kits and I'm using the January 2023 kit for my layout today. And I love this kit so much this month, right from the pattern papers that we got in ephemera all the way down to the mixed media kit as well. And the mixed media kit is going to feature in my layout today. And I'm also going to have some dimension on the page, and as usual, that's pretty typical for me. And I've also gone for a multi-photo layout as well. So I've got two photos there. They are 3x3s, and I'm going for a vertical look today. So on the left, and then I'll also have a component on the right-hand side of the cardstock as well. So my mixed media, I have started with a clear gessoed piece of white cardstock. Now, ultimately, if you wanted to repeat or sort of follow along with this one, you do not need to use gesso for what I did with this mixed media. I just have clear gesso on multiple cardstocks. I sit there one afternoon and I do a whole heap, so I've got them in a pile because I want to make sure that I've got some ready to go when I'm going to use my mixed media. And it's really helpful to have gesso on your cardstock if you're planning on using lots of water. And I never know whether I'm going to use water or not, so it's easier if I just start with a sheet that is already pre-gessoed. But I do decide not to put a great deal of water on this one this time. So you certainly would not need to have gesso on your page to replicate this, like I said before. So what I've done here is I've used the grit paste that we got in the mixed media kit, the distressed grit paste, and I've added in some inks from my stash. This is a Lindy's Gang spray. It is in the colour of Orange Cream Side. And I just gave that a bit of a shake, added it to the grit paste, and then it slid and with a beautiful smooth over one of this Vicky Booten stencils as well. So that was just over on that left hand side and the right hand side there as well. Then once I was finished that and it was pretty much dry, I then added a little bit more water to my grit paste and then did some splatters, and so they were quite light, and then I came back over the top with some splatters that were directly using the nozzle from the ink spray, and I really love how that turned out. That's one of the great things about this grit paste, is that you can add colour to it because the grit paste is quite sort of translucent. The colour is Snowfall. And you can add anything here. So like I did with the sprays, you could also add in some coloured texture paste or anything really, or some watercolour or acrylic paint. You could actually add anything to that. You just need to be mindful it'll take a little bit of time to dry. I did finish this off with a bit of a go over with my heat gun because I didn't really mind if it buckled or anything like that. I was going for a bit of a messy look with this one. So if you didn't get the mixed media kit, I certainly would encourage you to have a look at that this month. I really enjoyed playing with this grit paste, and I would imagine it's going to be on several layouts over the coming months. And a little bit spreads a long way as well. All right, so to get back into the layout, once all that was dry, I'm really just here adding some layers. So under the photo, I add in some of the pattern paper, and I'm focusing on these sort of apricot yellowy tones to go along with the flowers from the Paige Evans ephemera pack. And I love these so much. They're almost like sunflowers, I guess, and those daisies. So it's absolutely perfect for I felt that it was perfect for the photos that I was doing here today. These are photos of my great friend Amanda. We had a cocktail evening, and she is our resident cocktail queen. And so I had a fun time putting this one together. One thing I did make sure I did was I did glue down my photos and all the ephemera pieces to the background. One of the reasons for that is because I've used the gesso and that grit paste. When you use mixed media, a big tip is to use some wet glue if you have any. That will be things will stick so much easier. I find if you use any of your tapes, that it will eventually come away. So I would certainly recommend using some wet glue. The wet glue I'm using for my layout today is the Scotch Tacky Glue, and I've got that sitting inside a fine liner bottle. Now, to give the layout some balance, that's why I'm putting these pieces on the right hand side. So I'm sort of almost forming a triangle here, sort of on a weight 80 across the page. And to tone in as well, to join up the look, I found excuse me, I found those stickers on the Vicky Booten sticker sheet there that look like a metal ring. And I've cut one of those in half and popped one of them on the left-hand side and one of them on the right-hand side, and then a full one on that right-hand side of the ephemera pieces there. So I've just added a little bit of layering here with an extra bit of patterned paper. And I have torn these patterned papers as well. I don't think I've mentioned that, just to give them that distressed look. And added some more flowers and some more stickers from the sticker sheet. So at the top right-hand side, the top right-hand side of the top left photo, there's a little sticker that says "Good Stuff." And then I was stuck with what I was going to do for my title. I knew what I wanted it to say, but I couldn't, it took me a couple of moments just to think about how I was going to do that. So what I've actually done is I went deep into my stash of thickers and letters. It was definitely way deep. I don't know how long I've had these in my stash. And I've also I wanted to keep it as straight as possible. Well, as straight as possible I can do. I really even can't do straight using a T-square ruler, but I did give it a go. So I've found some gold letters, and also sort of a pale orangey sort of corally tone as well, because I wanted the title to be Shake, Shake, Shake. I thought that worked perfectly with the photos that I had for today. And that pretty much actually finishes off my layout. I do add in an additional sticker just that sits under Shake, Shake, Shake. I felt that it just needed something extra, and it's the Made Me Chuckle stickers from the sticker sheet. I also added in that butterfly on the right hand side as well. I mean, I love a butterfly, I couldn't help myself. And to actually finish off the complete layout, I felt that needed a little bit of grounding around the edges, so I do a doodle line around each part of the white cardstock, the background. A really messy doodle for me. I am not a huge doodler, but yeah, I made this one a little bit messy, so I sort of do a straight line and a little bit of a loop as well. So I will leave in the description box below all the details of where you can get this month's kit, or you can get some information on how you can subscribe. As a subscriber, you also get access to a private Facebook group where we have lots of sharing, and we have exclusives that the design team do every month. We also have competitions and things like that as well. So it's certainly encourage you to take a look at that and join up if you can. And my finished layout is coming up any moment with some close-ups as well. I want to thank you as always for joining me today. I really appreciate you spending a little bit of creative time with me. Bye for now.